In this video, we're going to talk about timecode tracks. Timecode tracks are a newer way of dealing with timecode within your show. It allows you to spread your timecode across multiple playbacks very easily. It also allows you to repeat cues, which is something that is very difficult to do with traditional timecoding of cues within the stack. So to get started, we have a demo show here, just a few playbacks here for our song. If we double click the S button and go into the playback options, the old way of doing timecode was to come into the halt field, set it as timecode, and then stamp each track individually. However, there's some limitations with it. If you had cues like these I have over here that are a blinder hit, a color effect, and a random strobe for the rig, you would have to repeat these cues in order to trigger them multiple times during the show. Or you would have to put dummy cues in here and use macros, and it's a long, kind of convoluted process. With timecode tracks, you can trigger playback as many times as you want throughout a song or a show off of this single cue that exists within that stack. So to get to timecode tracks, we're going to go to View TC. Once we're in View TC, we would be looking at the timecode tracks. Right now, currently, there is no timecode track associated with this playback. So you'll see up top there's a button that says Record Track. You have options to choose where that timecode is coming from, an internal clock, and choices of which track you're looking at. You see when I brought the playback up, the clock started ticking. We're currently just emulating timecode internally, so it's just going to use the clock within the desk. This clock will associate with whatever your timecode is currently set for. So to get started, we're going to start our playback. And then there's a button up here that says Record Track. From the second you hit this Record Track button, it's going to record every playback and fader move you make, and it's going to stamp it. So we'll re-rack one time. We'll give it a 5-second lead in. We're going to hit Record Track, and you'll see as we reach 5 seconds, every time that I hit my playback, it's going to make a line within the timecode track with the associated time and action. We can end the track, and then we can restart our playback, and you'll see as it ticks through, when it hits 5 seconds, it's going to play back each of those lines. So once we have our initial track recorded, you have up to 10 tracks per playback. So if you have your 10 playbacks that are on most of the consoles, the compact consoles and the older consoles, and you have 10 tracks per playback, that's 100 timecode tracks you could potentially have. These are additive. You see we can insert a track, so we can insert additional steps into this if we want, or we can start another track altogether. This track will run in parallel to track 1. So we could have track 1 as it is now as our main, our verse and chorus, and if we wanted to do our blinder hits, we can do a track 2. Again, we'll push track 1 up because the timecode track still lives in track 1. And then again at 5 seconds, we can start hitting our blinder hits. Now, you'll see every time I hit this flash button, I get a flash action, and I get the timestamp for it. If I bring the fader up slowly to bring the playback in, you'll see it registers those fade times, and it registers the speed. We can end that track. We'll re-rack our playback. Now we have both tracks here. So what we should get when we play it back is not only the verse and chorus triggering after 5 seconds, but we should also see the blinder hits happen as well. So a very simple, very intuitive way to get your timecode spread across all of your playbacks and gone in time. And the fact that you can do this in multiple passes, you can do one pass just doing your verse and chorus. and then re-rack it, and then spend one pass doing your blinders and then re-rack it, and so on and so forth, giving you time to focus on each of those hits rather than trying to run a really complex show perfectly the first time to get your timestamps in. Hope this helps you out. Hope you enjoy Timecode Tracks. As always, you can reach us at www.camsasliding.com.